Come here, Chinga. Come here, Chinga. Ay, I gotcha. Say, I'm blind. I'm blind, but my mommy picks me up and puts me on the bed, so I'm safe. Come lay down, Chinga. Lay down with Paco. Hello, everybody. Hello. There you go, baby. Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, you guys, is we are going to talk about the DEA trying to stop telemedicine, Suboxone telemed. Okay, and their reasoning is diversion. So let me get my computer because I want to pull it up so that way I can read the information to you guys, okay? So please bear with me for a second, all right? Yeah, I'm going to in just a second. Hold on just a second. Okay. Friends, Romans, and countrymen. Okay. Oh, I don't know why this stupid thing. Hold on, guys, just a second. Sorry about that. I'm not understanding why this isn't tight. There. Okay, just hold that there. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me pull it up on my computer real fast, y'all. So, for those of you guys that don't know, Suboxone through telemedicine is like really important, especially for people who don't have vehicles, who are, you know, in rural areas where they can't access buprenorphine. And so this can be pretty shitty for a lot of people. So let me read what it says. Let me get my spectacles out. This is from regulations.gov. So it says, expansion on induction of buprenorphine versus telemedicine encounter. It says, summary, the Drug Enforcement Administration is amending its regulations in concert with the Department of Health and Human Services to expand the circumstances under which individual practitioners are authorized to prescribe Schedule III narcotic drugs or combination of such drugs that have been approved for use in continuous medical treatment, also referred to as maintenance, or withdrawal management treatment, also referred to as detoxification, via a telemedicine encounter, including an audio-only telemedicine encounter. Electronic comments must be submitted and written comments must be postmarked on or before March 31st. Commenters should be aware that the electronic federal docket management system will not accept comments after 11:59 p.m. Okay. So, addresses. To ensure proper handling. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay. I don't want to read about the comments. Okay. I want to know. Okay. An estimated 107,477 fatal drug poisonings occurred between September 1st, 2021 and on August 31st, 2022, the majority of which involved illegal synthetic drugs. DEA is doing everything in its power to safely expand access to treatment to prevent further drug poisoning deaths. DEA implements and enforces the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970, often referred to as the Controlled Substance Act and the Controlled Substances Import and Export Act. DEA publishes the implementing regulations for these statutes in 21 CFR Parts 1300 to N. These regulations are designed to ensure a sufficient supply of controlled substances for medical, scientific, and other legitimate purposes, and to deter the diversion of controlled substances for illicit purposes. As mandated by the CSA, DEA establishes and maintains a closed system of control for manufacturing, distribution, and dispensing of controlled substances, and requires any person who manufactures, distributes, dispenses, imports, exports, or conducts research or chemical analysis with controlled substances to register with DEA unless they meet an exemption. The Ryan Hyatt Online Pharmacy Consumer Protection Act of 2008 amended the CSA by, among other things, adding several new provisions to prevent the illegal distribution or dispensing of controlled substances. Hold on, I want to read where it's important. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is what's happening is they're trying to make it to where, okay, background. Buprenorphine used in treating opiate use disorder, okay? DEA is proposing to promulgate regulations which would expand the circumstances under which practitioners are authorized to prescribe any Schedule 3, 4, or 5 narcotic drug approved by the Food and Drug Administration for the use in maintenance or detoxification of OUD, opiate use disorder, via a telemedicine encounter, including an audio-only telemedicine encounter that meets the standard of 42 CFR, provided certain requirements and conditions are met. The only Schedule 3 through 5 narcotic drug that is currently approved by the FDA for such treatment is buprenorphine. Thus, DEA is proposing to expand the situations in which practitioners are authorized to prescribe buprenorphine via telemedicine for maintenance or detoxification treatment under limited circumstances to expand the access to treatment for OUD while maintaining effective controls against diversion. They're worried about diversion. Listen. Buprenorphine comes in 2 formulations, a sole agent or combined with naloxone, both of which are very effective medications for treating OUD. Commonly prescribed formulations of buprenorphine are indicated by the FDA for the treatment of OUD. DEA classifies buprenorphine as a Schedule 3 narcotic controlled substance, and as it has a currently accepted medical use and treatment and has less of a potential for misuse than the other controlled substances in Schedule 1 and 2, and its misuse may lead to moderate to low physical dependence or high psychological dependence. Studies have shown that buprenorphine helps to lower physical dependency on other opioids and reduces withdrawal symptoms, drug cravings, and morbidity and mortality for patients with OUD, while also providing lower euphoric effects compared to other opioids. Moreover, buprenorphine is a partial opioid receptor agonist. It has less of an effect on respiratory depression, has a lower risk of overdose, and produces lower euphoric effects than full agonist opioids. Similar to other opioids, some individuals who misuse buprenorphine may experience withdrawal upon stopping the medication. Thus, buprenorphine is an effective medication for treating OUD, especially when used as part of a complete treatment plan. Okay, so they're talking about the diversion and misuse of opioids lead to drug poisonings. And so they feel like the diversion risk of buprenorphine. Buprenorphine is a critical tool in efforts to stem the drug poisoning crisis that is occurring across the country. Still, buprenorphine, when used improperly, may lead to misuse and death. Self-medication for the management of symptoms may also be a motivation for non-prescribed misuse of buprenorphine. Moreover, issues with availability, accessibility, and acceptability of formal buprenorphine treatment may also contribute to non-prescribed buprenorphine misuse. Diversion of buprenorphine and other prescription opioids remains an issue across the country. In the past 2 years, DEA has seen federal investigations of buprenorphine diversion across the country. Thus, safeguards are necessary to mitigate the risk of diversion. So, DEA is proposing to promulgate regulations which would increase patient access to buprenorphine treatment with the goal of providing effective controls against diversion. Thus, DEA is proposing to promulgate regulations that would expand the circumstances under which registered practitioners would be authorized to prescribe buprenorphine for OUD via telemedicine, including an audio-only telemedicine encounter, and inform these practitioners of their related obligations. DEA is also proposing to promulgate regulations that are necessary to mitigate the risk of diversion. Unmet need to facilitate patient access. Okay, so what they're wanting to happen is they're wanting you to have to see somebody in person. This rulemaking would enable patients, those patients who prior to being able to access treatment under the circumstances legally authorized, did not wish to, or did not possess the means to be inducted for the treatment of OUD. Until recently, there was a this is so much bullshit, y'all. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's bullshit. So basically, they are wanting us to have to see a doctor in person before you can continue on your telemed doctor that you're seeing. You have to see them in person. So think about all of you guys whose doctors are through telemedicine. They might not even live in the same state as you, but they have a license to prescribe in that state. You would have to see them in person to be able to get your medication still. Okay? So let me see. They want to amend it. Okay, definition of... So by adding new paragraph K, requiring a practitioner to maintain copies of all qualifying telemedicine referrals that he or she issues. It doesn't let me move. Why does it not let me move? It's so much bullshit that I don't even know what it means. But from what I'm understanding is that they think that this will somehow like make the diversion rate less. Which, to me, that doesn't make any sense because people are going to divert medication whether they fucking get it from a, hey, Nate, Nathaniel, Cayete. People are going to divert medication whether they get it from a doctor in person or whether they get it from a doctor at a telemedicine clinic, you know? And so what they're wanting to happen is for you to carry on your appointments with these doctors that are through telemedicine, you'll have to see them in person to be able to carry on. So what end up happening is a lot of places that are telemedicine, the people that go there won't be able to do that. You know what I mean? And so it's just going to add like another layer to making it difficult to get bupe. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a guy on TikTok. I want y'all to hear what he has to say. He's really smart and he's in the harm reduction community. So I want to show y'all his content first, okay? Because I know that I'm not the best at explaining things, but this kid, he's smart. His name is Narcan Nate. He's got to be smart if he named himself Narcan Nate after my son, Nate. Okay. I've asked him to come on the channel so I can interview him, but he's always busy, so. Okay. Let me find it.
Narcan Nate. So I want to talk about, well, there it is. Yes, I want to talk about this article. I know this is a...
Okay, hold on. I mean, he always brings the information too.
If they just want you to like kind of weed out the people that are just getting it.
Buprenorphine diversion because of elimination of the X waiver.
Okay, here, let's listen to this first.
So apparently, people are worried about buprenorphine diversion because of elimination of the X waiver. Nonetheless, 100,000 people just died, and we're worried about bupe diversion. Of all things we could worry about, we're worried about bupe diversion. Like, come on. Like, can y'all pick your battles? Like, I can't believe, but I can believe that y'all wasted time and taxpayers' dollars to bring up bupe diversion, of all things. Mind you, the majority of the 100K people that died was from illicit opioid use. And mind you, that access to telehealth during COVID and more access to bupe medication, the mortalities with increased access to bupe did not go up for those patients. And y'all want to talk about bupe diversion and how it's scary? Like, this is just dumb and ignorant. I mean, when I was in the clinic in 2015, I was getting 3/8 a day, and I diverted it. I sold it. And the reason people came, because they didn't have access to the clinic, whether financial instability or they didn't have insurance, and so they came, and they came because they wanted to avoid withdrawal, or they wanted it. And I don't even know, like, can we not just pick our battles? Like, I don't even know. Like,
so that's that part. Then he also had a video where he talked about.
Okay, so let's talk about the Adderall sort of. So,
okay, hold on.
Hey, so Narcanate. So I'm gonna hit on the removal of the X flavor and then like red flags and things like that. So Okay, Nate. So yesterday I made the video.
Reaction.
Damn it! I want to find this damn video.
Narcanate. So I want to talk about Narcanate. Narcanate. So I want
Anyway,
Narcanate.
so they're basically trying to make it more difficult. They're trying to make it more difficult.
So the DEA released
Here.
proposed rules for permanent telemedicine flexibilities. This isn't the final draft. They're allowing comment for public comment for, I believe, the next 28 days. And so pretty much, if you've had a referral and you've had an in-person visit, this is not going to affect that. Now, if you don't have a referral and you've not had an in-person visit, they're allowing a 30-day supply of buprenorphine for OUD. And then for anything other than that, it's non-narcotic schedule 3 through 5 that they will allow you a 30-day.
So you have to have an in-person appointment to be able to continue your telemed, okay? So what about people who don't have vehicles? What about people who are disabled? What about people that are in rural areas, okay? So
really it. And, I don't know. It's crazy to me because the studies with bupe show that diverted bupe is not a bad thing. Diverted bupe is the least of our worries. And let's be honest, I would much rather people have Adderall than going and buying it from the street, which people have been doing.
Yeah, diverted buprenorphine is just helping most people, you know what I'm saying? And so the problem is still illicit fentanyl. So that's Narcan Nate. All you got to do is go to TikTok and type in Narcan Nate. So the reason why I'm coming to you guys today to talk to you about this is because there's a link that I want you guys to go to, right? So to fill out the thing, yeah, they have, I know we were reading the whole thing. They're trying to make it to where you have to see a doctor in person, and then after that you can still do the telemed thing. But what about the people who don't have access to seeing that doctor in person because they are in rural areas, because they have no transportation, because they are disabled? What about those people? You know what I'm saying? And so they're just making it another hill for people to have to climb. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Terry, it's like another stepping stone that people, you know how hard it is to get people. Okay, so this is me talking to you guys as somebody who works helping people get signed up to get on bupe through telemedicine. Do you know how hard it is sometimes for me to get you guys on your clinic and get you guys set up? Because a lot of you guys are just like anxiety ridden. A lot of you guys struggle with your own technology and you don't really know how to use it. A lot of you guys are fucked up whenever you call me and you want to get help. That too. And it takes me sometimes 2 days to get you guys lined out to where I know you have an appointment and you're on the schedule and you're good to go. And so this is just adding another block in front of me that, okay, now I'm going to have to get this person a referral from this doctor. Do you understand what I'm saying? It just adds more process to an already hard process, because you're already going through a really hard time whenever you're trying to get on buprenorphine. Most people are in withdrawal. They feel like shit. They're, coming down. They're hurting, Yeah, I got the link. Let me get it off my other page. And so that's why I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about it, because I think it's important for us to all go and share about how this medication has helped us and how the process of what we do, how we do it, is what we need it to stay like. You know what I'm saying? So that way we don't have to add this more complicated situation. Do you know what I mean?
What they should do is have people that are already on it able to stay on it the way they're doing it, but then people kind of grandfathered in, and then the people that
are new, that are just getting started, have to do it that way. Well,
instead of just like jacking everybody up.
Okay, there's the link. I just put it in there. Oh, it is a lot of steps. Like today, Liz, are you in here, girl? Today, one of my girls, okay, I've just put the link in the chat. One of my girls called me today, or has been messaging me today, and when I tell you guys, She has been blowing me up through text messages just because she's anxious and she wants to get on the medication. She has a really 911 situation to get on the medication, and she's anxious and she's nervous, and she, you know, when y'all don't hear from somebody, then y'all are messaging me. And so, and I am the kind of person who I act on everything as it's like 911, right? And so then my anxiety gets up because I want to help you get treated and get your help as fast as I can. And so then I'm messaging Terry and Marcus and Robin, trying to be like, you know, is somebody there? You know what's going on? And it can all be a misunderstanding of, you didn't send your ID in. That's why nobody's gotten back to you. Do you know what I'm saying? And so that's like literally how it goes, you know? So after 180 days, if they haven't gotten an in-person referral, then they can't get telemedicine anymore, right? Terry she works for the telemedicine people, the Recovery Delivered, so she knows she knows what it is. So if y'all have questions, she'll be able to answer y'all. She's in the chat right now. She's a moderator and she's in the chat. So I just don't want us to have another roadblock. You know, I feel like so many people have been getting help that they needed through medication-assisted treatment, through Recovery Delivered. And I feel like we're getting on a roll. I feel like we're picking up steam. I feel like people are doing good. I feel like people are feeling comfortable and content and safe with their medication, because that's a whole nother, that is another level of stress. So many of you guys go through situations at the pharmacy where your pharmacist wants to discriminate against you and not give you your Suboxone. So many of you guys are switching over to the pharmacy at Recovery Delivered so you don't have to deal with the pharmacy in your area. And y'all are just getting settled with that and comfortable. And so it's just really hard sometimes. It makes me upset that it's like, I feel like, why are they worried about Suboxone? Like, Suboxone should be the least of their fucking worries. You know, it's just so discouraging. But, like, if y'all need help with anything, if you're somebody, if this does pass through and you need me to help you get a referral we'll work it out. We'll figure it out, okay? We'll figure it out, and I'll help you guys any way I can to get everything straightened out, okay? I'm not going to leave you hanging. But yeah, so if you guys can, okay, please go in there and say something to them. I'm sure it does crazy legs, because if they're doing that with buprenorphine, think about what they're going to be doing with pain medications. And it's only going to get worse, you know? Yeah, we'll figure out something. We'll work it out. I mean, I'm sure, like, I know a bunch of different providers, and then I'm sure all the people at Recovery Delivered know different providers. So hopefully we can help everybody across the board, you know? But okay, so if y'all have any Suboxone questions, or y'all want to talk about Suboxone treatment and how to stay sober while taking Suboxone, if we can talk about that, since we're talking about Suboxone anyway. And I'm going to do my skincare with you guys. So let's get it done, because my face needs to be washed. And we're going to do my mask today because we didn't do it yesterday. So come on in, everybody. This is Skincare and Recovery with Nicole. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me, God? Why am I like this? What up, Nat? Hey. Oh, that's cool. That would be that would be awesome if y'all could do that. You know, that would be so cool if we had doctors in every state that were willing to do that. You know what I mean? That were willing to step up and say, you know what? We will go and we will see all the people we need to see, so that way we can get all these people set up. Because you guys got to understand something. A drug addict's one of our biggest fears is not having our medication, okay? Not having our medication. And when I tell you, it is like the worst feeling in the whole wide world to be doing everything right, okay? You're staying sober, you're doing the right thing, and then have some people, the DEA, trying to come in and put some shit in front of you to make it a little bit more difficult on you. You know what I'm saying? And so, I've always like thought about, oh my gosh, I need to come off Suboxone because I don't want to have to be dependent to something for the rest of my life, blah, 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 blah. And I've always said that, right? Or I've always felt like that in my head. I don't talk about it a lot on here because I don't want to discourage anybody, But situations like this, when these situations arise, it kind of makes me feel like that sometimes, But that's not fair. I shouldn't have to make those kind of decisions, I shouldn't have to choose between my life-saving treatment, I shouldn't have to do that. And that's what makes me so upset about it. Because I finally have found something that works for me and that my life is truly benefiting from. Like, I couldn't stay sober for 10 years. I tried to get sober, you guys. And I was in and out of sober living. In and out, okay? And I just feel like I finally found something that actually helps me, Suboxone. Because Sublocade, you have to be on Suboxone before you can get on Sublocade. They can't just give it to you, or at least I don't think they can, because it's a shot. So it comes in 300 milligrams and I think 100 milligrams or 150, something like that. And so Terry knows what the milligrams are, but imagine them shooting you up with that and them not knowing if it was too little or too much. It could probably make you really sick. I'm sorry if I said taking away telemedicine. I know that sounds kind of dramatic, but I got to get y'all's asses in here. I'll change the title. I'll change the title when we upload this video. I'll put the DEA is trying to put a roadblock on the DEA is trying to make it more difficult for telemed to prevail or to continue on or whatever. So a lot of times, you guys, a person could just be getting the shot. Let's say they could do Sublocade like that and they could just give you the shot when you come in, right? A lot of the behaviors that people have that have substance use disorder are putting stuff in our mouths, shooting stuff up, that like compulsion, okay? So if you give somebody just a shot and they haven't like really gotten any work on the way they have their brains operating and they're not working on like changing the way they live their life, then their compulsion will come out in some other area of their life, right? So like the compulsion to use drugs, if you give them, Sublocade and they don't want opioids anymore, then they could start a new compulsion, like a compulsion to shoot meth, a compulsion to overeat, a compulsion to have sex. And so that it's, for me, like now I'm trying to work on my compulsion, like my drug of choice converted to food, right? And I started overeating a lot and that became a compulsion, an obsessive thing for me, And so now I have to try and work on that to get that better. Do you know what I'm saying? So just giving somebody a shot and sending them on their way wouldn't be beneficial, Now, if you had somebody in like long-term treatment, let's say like a year-long program, and you could do something like that, because they used to have a medication called Probufene that Dr. B was talking about today, and it was a Suboxone injection that they put into your arm, and it lasted 6 months, okay? So something like that, for somebody that's in long-term treatment could probably be awesome, But it's more about our behaviors whenever we have addictions. Like, I feel like Suboxone's really not there to help you with your behaviors. Suboxone's there to help you to not crave and to not be sick, right? And so when you get sober off drugs and you're on MAT, you have to do all the work on changing your brain and what you do and how you operate. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, that's a short. That's a girl from my TikTok. I'm the owner of this channel, though. Justin, nice to meet you. You can stay in here if you want to. You don't have to. He's talking about my short with a little blonde girl. Her dad that went through the gas station and stole an ATM and all that. She's also on my Instagram page, too. Okay. Ooh, that burned my eye. So, let's think about, like, if you go to an AA, you're on subs. What's your thoughts? No, you don't have to tell them at all. The reason why I say that, thanks for the questions, Nick. I love you, man. Do you have to tell the people at AA or NA if you're on Suboxone or not? And I'm going to tell you my personal lived experience, okay? You don't have to tell anybody nothing. And I learned that the hard way. This is a mask. I learned that the hard way. I went into Alcoholics Anonymous thinking that I had to tell everybody that I was on subs, okay? Because I wanted to be honest, right? And I felt like if I wasn't telling these people about my medical information, that I wasn't being honest. I went through like 6 months of sponsorship with my sponsor, and she had 31 years sober. And I had already told her about my Suboxone thing, and we met to do my 4th step one day, and I was telling her how hard it was for me to tell her that because I was so afraid she wasn't going to sponsor me. And that's when she said this. She said, Nicole, I'm on Xanax for anxiety, and I take pain medication for my pain. And I've got 31 years sober, honey. Your medical information is nobody's business. And that's when I realized that there are probably millions of alcoholics in Alcoholics Anonymous who are on uppers, downers, and all arounders, but they still picking up that 40-year chip, honey. So you don't have to tell nobody nothing. You can keep it to yourself. And honestly, like, I'm glad that I told people, because whenever I told people and I got a bad reaction for it, it made me like really gung-ho about helping other people not have to go through the same thing, you know? But I will tell you guys this. I have lost out on opportunities because I'm on Suboxone. I have been not given an opportunity to become a peer in my state because I was on Suboxone. And the only reason why they changed it is because me and a couple of my friends from other states raised fucking Cain about it. Okay? Because it's discrimination. All right? And a lot of people in the recovery community don't take me seriously because I'm on Suboxone. But those are not the people that I need. Those aren't the people I give a fuck about, you know? But I will tell you that there's been some negative experiences from it. But then the positive experiences from me being open about being on subs, I mean, I have my job working with Dr. B because I was honest about my journey on Suboxone. I have all of you guys because I was honest about my journey being on Suboxone, you know? I have custody of my son back because I got on Suboxone. I'm alive because I got on Suboxone. And I truly believe 100% without a doubt, if I had not gotten on Suboxone, you guys, I would not be alive. Okay? I know you guys have been listening to me read you my journal entries, okay? And y'all hear it. I was out of my motherfucking mind every day. Every day I was high, had been up for days, taking multiple amounts of methadone and Xanax together. Okay? My husband would have seizures and nod out, and I would freaking nod out and be all crazy. And so I would not be alive, you know? Oh, I know, Cece. I know you wouldn't have been alive. And there's several of you guys. Like, there's some people who try to make me feel guilty for talking positively about Suboxone, right? But I always give people all the information. Like, I'm not going to tell you that you can get on Suboxone, okay, and then never fucking have to get off of it, never feel withdrawal. Like, if you want to get off Suboxone, you're going to have to work at tapering or go on Sublocade, right? And so I always tell people that reach out to me that have never been on Suboxone or any kind of maintenance, I always let them know this is an opioid medication, okay? And you're going to have to taper to get off of it. And I want you to be aware of that before you even begin, because I don't want anyone to be able to say, Nicole talked me into getting on Suboxone and now I'm miserable, you know? Because whenever I went to get on Suboxone, I didn't know anything about Suboxone. I had never really experienced withdrawal from it the couple of times I had taken it in my addiction. And so I didn't really know a lot about it. I wish my doctor had sat me down and really gone through it with me and let me know exactly what it was going to entail. But at that time, you guys, I was really desperate and I needed help. And if I didn't get that help, I was going to lose custody of my son forever. And I had just gotten caught relapsing inside of treatment, you know? My mom used Matt for 15 years before coming off of it. It was a journey for her, but she says it saved her life. Hell yeah, Megan. Why do some treatment centers still not take people on maintenance or subs? I know some do, but I feel like most don't. Just curious. You know what? A lot of treatment centers won't even take people coming off of fucking Xanax and benzos anymore. They won't take them into detox because they can't detox them in 5 days successfully. Like, they can't do it without causing people harm. But there's a lot of treatment centers who won't allow you to be on MAT still, which is ridiculous, honestly. I think a lot of those treatment centers are not treatment centers where they have doctors, nurses, like, okay, so there's a lot of like faith-based, free kind of style treatment centers are really real that don't have no kind of medical evidence treatment. They're just like they're just praying and doing Bible work and scriptures. Like, my husband got sent to one of those places and they made him cold turkey off of methadone and he was like on 200 milligrams of it, you know? And so I think a lot of those places just don't have the proper staffing. They don't have doctors and stuff, because most doctors that work in treatment centers are at least going to use MAT to help you get off of fentanyl. And right now, with the way it is out there with fentanyl and this xylazine shit, okay, people are coming in, and listen to this, you guys. The xylazine is a tranquilizer, right? And so people are coming in and they're reversing their overdose with Narcan, but they're still kind of like out from xylazine. And so they have to have somebody help them breathe and stuff, because they're like, you know what I mean, from that animal tranquilizer that they have in their system. So people are coming into these treatment centers, and can you imagine like people not having any kind of medical care and having to come off of those kind of drugs by themselves without any kind of medication or doctors, you know? It makes me sick, dude. It makes me sick. And completely off everything, then you're not really in the recovery. I know, it makes me sick. And those are the places that are hand in hand with the treatment, like 12-step places. So I used to be so into AA, you guys. And like I said, I still believe that the 12 steps helped me so much. But like, the longer that I've stayed sober, the more I've realized that like everybody has an agenda. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want people to be happy. I want you to be able to get your kids back. I want you to be able to have a full-time job and feel good about what you're doing. I want you to be proud of yourself. I want you to feel good about your life, you know? And if that means having to take Suboxone for the rest of your life, then so fucking be it. You know? And I just don't give a fuck what nobody thinks no more. I really, really don't. I really fucking don't. For a long time, it used to hurt my feelings. People said I wasn't sober, blah, 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 blah. I do not give a fuck now, okay? Because I will tell you this. Anybody who's judging your sobriety, what are they? What are they? If they're telling you that you're not in recovery, then what are they? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just ass backwards. Okay. Yeah, this pill is strong, but I'm used to it because I'm a hardcore. I'm hardcore. Okay, so, but it works really good if y'all need it. Suboxone is an amazing medication, and I'll always sing the praises of subs, you guys, because it saved my life. Oh, I gotta tell y'all something, okay? So, I know exactly. I'm fixing to have to get on blood pressure medicine, honey. So my friend Tracy, y'all know Tracy from Black Tar Heroin. So I don't know if you guys watched that documentary, but my friend Tracy Helton, y'all probably know her. She is like really well known in the drug communities because she was like one of the first people like really handing out Narcan and shit like that. And she was on this documentary called Black Tar Heroin, and it was like basically set in San Francisco, I think. And she was like really young, and they were doing drugs and all this stuff. It's really old documentary, but so good. Y'all have to watch it. But everybody knows who she is. She put me in contact with the makers of Narcan. Okay. And so I had an interview with them the other day, and I told them my story, and I told them about my husband, and I told them about all of you guys. And I'm actually needing to know if any of you guys would like to share your stories on Narcan's website. Okay, so they asked me if I have any friends that have used Narcan, had Narcan used on them, had Narcan save a friend, anything like that are willing to tell their stories, and they'll pay you to tell your story too. I don't know how much it is, but I know it's like $100 or more. And all you do is have a Zoom call with them, tell them your story, tell them your situation, and if they want to use it, then they'll say, "Hey, we want to use your story. Let's get you set up with a recording day." Who would be a good candidate for maintenance? Trying to... Yeah, Nick, message me, Nick, okay? I mean, listen to me, you guys. Anybody who wants to use medication-assisted treatment can use medication-assisted treatment, okay? I have people who have come to me who have been... Exactly. I have had people come to me who have been sober for 6 years, and they're like, "Nicole, I'm going to relapse. I'm going to relapse. I want to shoot up fucking heroin. I want to shoot fentanyl, and I don't know what to do." And I always say, well, what about Vivitrol? I always try to give them the opportunity to choose, something not narcotic, right? And they say, I've been on Vivitrol before, it didn't work, or whatever. And then they say, I want to get back on subs. What do you think? Fucking go for it, dude. It's better than fucking shooting dope. You know what I mean? Get yourself back on your subs, and I'll be there to support you. There's nothing to be ashamed of, So anybody who needs it and wants to be on it can. There's even people who are on it for their pain. I know Pixie's on it for her pain, and a couple of y'all are on it for pain too. Kathleen, my friend Kathleen, is on it for pain. The lady who helped me with my teeth, she's on it for pain. A bunch of you guys are on it for pain. Oh, you did, Rob. That's awesome. That's really cool, man. Good job. Isn't it fun to help people? Isn't it feel good? It gives you purpose, doesn't it? That's what it does for me. It helps me to feel like I have a purpose. Even though y'all drive me crazy some days. Yes, at much lower doses. You know who I learned that from? There's actually this really awesome smart guy on TikTok, and he was sharing about how buprenorphine was used to treat acute pain and when it first came out, I guess, and that in really small amounts, like micrograms or something like that, they would use it to treat people's pain. And I thought, you know what? Is that because when it's less like that, it's not occupying that receptor, and so it leaves opportunity open for you to actually get the relief from the pain. I'm trying to figure out like how it works in those lower doses better, but I think I have the right idea. I just don't think I'm saying it the scientific way. But I think it's because of the lower dose that it is able to help. And Dr. B actually told me that in lower doses, like multiple times a day, that's what he would do for people who had pain, was prescribe it to them in lower doses multiple times a day. You know? Hey, Allie, what's up? You need, what kind of insurance do you have, Cece? Can you not, okay, can you not like get Medicaid or anything? I mean, okay, so do I think somebody should try abstinence first or go straight to MAT? Okay, straight up, you guys, if you can afford to try abstinence first, I mean, of course, I would love for you to be able to try that first. But here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people, y'all, with fentanyl and all the drugs that are going around now, I feel like they almost don't even have a fucking chance. Like, if they don't fucking do something now, they're going to fucking die, dude. And so trying abstinence could be the thing that actually ends up killing them, because they wait to get on bupe because they're like, I need to try abstinence first, and then they end up dying, you know? And so I in a perfect world, yeah, I think everybody should try to get sober through abstinence, right? But you know how that goes. The world ain't perfect, honey. I tried to get sober through abstinence so many times, I probably looked like a dumbass coming in all those damn treatment centers like I was, going in all those AA and NA meetings, talking outside of my neck. You know? So I feel like, you know, abstinence is just like something that a lot of people, they don't have the luxury. No, I like the questions. They're helping me. Keep them coming. I feel like a lot of people that are doing drugs now, they don't have the luxury of choosing whether or not they get to be abstinent or MAT. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? The luxury is in, like, they're going to die. You know? And so that's what scares me for people. You know how they say in AA, they talk about how resentments are the number one offender, and regular people, normal people, have the luxury of staying mad and resentful because resentments don't kill them like they do drug addicts, right? Well, it's just like that for us addicts when we're trying to choose recovery, right? Nowadays, you could say, okay, I'm going to wait and try to do this abstinence thing, and then waiting could be your death sentence, you know? So choose wisely. That's all I got to say about that. Choose wisely, my friends. Choose wisely. And I'll tell you this, the fear of having to get off sub, it's not, you don't have to be afraid anymore, okay? There's like literally new treatments that they're doing that are helping people get off subs. Sublocade is literally helping people get off subs with little to no withdrawal, you guys. And so I know a lot of y'all, you know, are like, I don't want to get on Suboxone because I don't want to have to go through the withdrawal. If you have insurance, you can get on Suboxone and you can use Sublocade to get off. Okay? How much is Suboxone without insurance? So me and my husband, at the highest we've ever paid, we paid $250 for our appointments. So that was $500 a month for appointments. And then we paid, like, I think he was paying $300 and I was paying $100 for my prescription. So we were paying a lot of money, dude. That Sublocade shot without insurance is like $1,200. Maybe more than that. And so, but you know what? You couldn't put a price on my sobriety, baby. You couldn't put a price on my Do you know how much money I was spending on drugs in my active addiction? Do you know how many times I had to do shit I'm not proud of during my active addiction? I'm telling you guys, I was the same way whenever I heard them say the price. But it's all worth it. It's all worth it for me to be a mom to my son. I'm sitting here watching my son play his $500 Oculus that I bought with my motherfucking hard-earned money. Yeah, and at Recovery Delivered, it's only $89. And if you use my code, Nicole, it's only $45 for your first appointment. And if you've been on Suboxone before, then they set you up on a monthly regimen. So you'll just see them once a month and you'll pay $89. And you can use the coupons for your Suboxone prescription at GoodRx. And so if you're taking like one sub a day and you have the GoodRx app and you get the generics, you can pay like $50 or $60 for your Suboxone prescription with the coupons and be good to go. Be good to go. Oh yeah, that's Nick. That's Nick, my friend from Florida. He's a good boy. He's a good kid. He's been through a lot with his addiction. And hopefully you're all done with all that, Nick. But if you aren't and you're feeling like you want to relapse and you're having a hard time, you know, you're somebody that if you needed to get back on MAT, I would totally support you doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's better than you being like you were before. You know, where I had to call your mom looking for you and shit because you fell off the goddamn face of the earth. Hey, Melba. What do you need to do for what, honey? That's terrible, Brittany. Are you getting generic Suboxone strips?
Lay down, Jim.
Or are you getting the name brand? Because there's no reason why it should be no 560, girl. That's ridiculous. Oh, you have insurance. Okay. I'm like, girl, name brand? That's why, hell. That's why. That damn name brand. Yeah, remember that, Nick? Okay, let me tell y'all a story about me and Nick, okay? Out of Fear Gang. Nick he's helping me with he's asking questions to help me with the live, y'all, because when y'all ask me questions, it helps me. So whenever me and Nick first became friends, right? He was on YouTube and he was presenting himself as this straight guy, you know, good looking, tall, dark, and handsome, 6-pack, abs, always out in the sun in Florida, just looking fine as wine, right? Well, we became like really good friends, like really close friends, like best friends, right? And I was like, why does he want to be my best friend? Of all the people he could choose to be best friends with on YouTube, because we had like a little group of people. It was me, Rockin' Roberta, Kevin from Kickin' Addiction, just a lot of other people that I thought that he would rather be friends with than me, right? But no, he chose me. Well, he chose me. Well, one day I was getting really into my YouTube channel and he knew how serious I was about it. And so one day he said to me, I'm going to help you with your YouTube channel. I want to help you, and I know that you're going to do well and you're going to keep doing this. And so I'm going to help you with a camera. And so he bought me this camera, basically. And this is expensive, $600 camera. And I cried my eyes out. And I thought, oh my God, this man must be in love with me. Oh my gosh, what's going on, right? My husband got jealous. My husband's like, why is this fucker buying you cameras and shit, right? Well, probably like a year, or no, 6 months, 8 months went by. And then all of a sudden, one day, he finally came out to me and told me that he had been living 2 lives and that he was a gay man and he had a boyfriend and everything. A whole ass boyfriend. Okay? And that's when I learned that he wasn't in love with me. It had nothing to do with me. He He was just my friend and he wanted to help me, you know? But y'all know me. I had to be thinking he was in love with me. Lord, I have such an ego. But Neil was kind of getting mad because he was like, why does this guy want to help you so much? Like, why does he care about you like that? And I was like, well, you know, I get to know my people on my YouTube channel really well. Like, it's not like I just sign on and we just talk about bullshit and then I leave. Like, we really talk about a lot of really deep, important topics over here, you know? And so I don't just, like, get to know y'all on a surface level. I get to know you guys on a really deep level, you know? I love you too so much. And me and Nick, we just really clicked on a very deep level of friendship, you know? And no matter what, I never judge him. I love him just the way he is. When he was having his relapses and stuff, I was just so worried, but I never, ever, ever judged any of you guys, really. But Nick was really somebody important to me because I know what it feels like. I remember when my sister came out with her story about her, you know, being gay and her feeling like she could not tell anybody and living that life and feeling like a failure. And I just could relate to a lot of what he was going through, and I had a connection. So that's my friend. That's my best friend. Subutex, not at Recovery Delivered. They just do Suboxone. No, I have a husband. Thanks, Amy. I appreciate you, girl. And so, you know, I could be on here just kind of like shooting the shit and lying to you guys. Like Jessica Kent. Okay, I found a video that I made about her in 2019, and it literally was me saying the same shit that I said in 2023. Okay? Like, I could sit here and I could present to you guys one way. And that is what I was talking to my friend today about. I was telling her, I was like, her and her friend had a falling out, and she, just because she went to her friend and said, hey, like, I feel like we're supposed to be best friends, but you never support me, and I'm always supporting you. And she was trying to talk to her about it. Well, the girl blocked her, and they're supposed to be best friends. And what I'm trying to say is, a lot of people, a lot of people will present themselves as one way when the camera's on. And when that camera shuts off, they are a whole nother person. Okay? They were a whole nother person. Okay? And when I tell you that, so many people are like that here on YouTube and other social medias. They are not who they say they are. Okay? They're whole ass recovery creators, and when they sign off here, they're getting fucking high. You know what I'm saying? They're whole ass fucking prison reform YouTubers, and when they sign off here, they got fucking parolees staying up in their house making meth and shit, you know? So it's just like, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. People are not what they say they are, so you guys have to be really careful and you have to say this. Is it worth it for me to support this person? And if I support this person, is it going to hurt me, cause me harm? What's going to happen, right? And that's what you have to ask yourself. Is it worth it? Because then you can find out in a situation like we seen happen with Jessica Kent that she's really not the person that she said she's been, you know? She's not the person who she has been presenting online for years, you know? And so that's like a big slap in the face for a lot of people, you know? And I don't ever want to be that. Nope. Hell to the motherfucking no. All I got to tell y'all is that it's too much work to keep up two faces, honey. Okay? I ain't got all that time for all that bullshit. And plus, I got too much of a fucking mouth on me, too. I fucking pop off at the fucking lip too much to be doing some stupid ass shit like that. You know, can you imagine me trying to fucking be, like, not saying stuff that I'm not supposed to do and shit like that? Yeah. Yeah, I had anxiety really bad whenever I got I mean, yeah, but not as bad as I used to. Since I've gotten sober, it's a lot better. Hold on, baby. Since
Are you sure all I have to do is just...
You needed your dream box now, then you can have my computer. Okay? I'm gonna go get the plug-in for it. Go get your dream box, please.
You know where what is the wrap thing?
Probably in one of the drawers. Okay. Oh yeah, the charger's in here. High anxiety. Well, I mean, I'm an anxious person, like, just by design. That's how I was born. But it's a different kind of anxious than what you guys probably are thinking. Like, I am just a person who's always has thoughts on my mind, but I can go to bed and sleep peacefully and not, like, let it ruin my day and shit like that. Like, my husband's always been kind of, like, annoyed by me because, like, I can be having a horrible day that day and then go to bed like it ain't nothing but a thing. I sleep easy, you know? But a lot of the things that I have anxiety about are centered around, like, my child and stuff like that. Not like they used to be, which was more... Well, I was going to vacuum in a little bit. Why? In our room. Yeah, that's normal. I mean, especially once you get sober. Okay, so think about this. Remember what we talked about in that video I made a week or two ago about post-acute withdrawal? And so anxiety, depression, that kind of stuff is a big part of your post-acute withdrawal syndrome. So what you need to do is start looking up some coping mechanisms to help you with your anxiety. Okay? Just things that you can do on the fly when you're having an anxiety attack or a bad feeling. So meditation, listening to peaceful music that, you know, gives you that feeling, you know. Talking about how you feel, not keeping it bottled up in a secret. Getting into some kind of therapy with, like, a professional therapist or counselor. Doing things like getting outside of your house and moving your body around and working out and stuff. That helps out with, like, relieving tension and stuff like that. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? And then also, you guys have to start thinking about it. Like, if you're worrying, and that's the kind of anxiety you have, it's like worry stuff, you need to be thinking, like, what are you worrying about? Okay? What are you worrying about? Okay? What is on your mind that's making you just can't not focus on anything but that? And then really, really try to bring it into, like, is this important? Okay? Is it something that's going to affect me for the rest of my life? You know? Am I going to die? No. You know, and there's another thing that they say to do is when you're having a bad anxiety attack, find something that you can see, find something that you can touch, find something that you can smell, find something that you can hear, and do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited for my ears, y'all. And that will help you too. Go help him with his computer homework, Daddy. Are you doing your whatchamajigger night? Are you doing your homework? When I went and got my ears pierced yesterday, I showed the guy my tattoo, and he was like, "Are you going to be able to sit through, you know, these 3 ears piercings?" And I was like, "Yeah, I sat through this whole tattoo for like 6.5 hours." You know?
It was not 6 hours.
Yes, it was.
Not her.
You were at school when I got it done. It was from like 11 o'clock till 7 o'clock that night. Remember? I came home and it was nighttime.
Wait, so what?
11 to 7.
I thought you were talking about something else.
And I got this done all for you, baby. It's in representation of you.
11 to 7.
You know, I would have never thought that a snake's jaw...
Because you saved my life. That's my baby boy. Little shithead. Okay. So those are some things that you can do if you have anxiety. You know, Where's my co-host at? If you can get yourself a co-host like Paco, then he can help you with your anxiety. See? He can help you with your anxieties. Can you help them with their anxieties? Oh. Help them with their anxieties. Oh. What's your drug of choice, Megan? I mean, look at this little face, y'all. Look at this little face. I'm giving him a brain massage. Does that feel good, Paco? Look at his little eyes. I love you. I love you, Paco. So they're starting to use a medication, bupropion and naltrexone, for stimulant addiction. Let me show y'all something else. And some other medicines. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all real fast. Oh, benzos and meth. Okay. Yeah, me too, honey. I love me some meth. I loved it all. Okay. So this website right here, it's a telemedicine place too. They started doing medication for stimulants, okay? Okay, stimulant addiction. Y'all want to hear what they're using? They are using... Hang on. Let me put y'all right there. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Stay there. Stimulant addiction. Where'd I go? Oh, yeah. So, telehealth for meth and cocaine. Okay. I want to read to y'all what they use. Okay. Okay. No medication is FDA approved to treat stimulant use disorders, but studies show that medications commonly used to treat co-occurring issues like insomnia, depression, and anxiety can also reduce cravings for stimulants. Okay. So let me show you bupropion, naltrexone, mirtazapine, topiramate, and citalopram is what they're using. The different ones are using. Are y'all hearing that? So citalopram, which is, what is that? Citalopram, which is generic. I can't remember. Mirtazapine and topiramate. That's what they use. Like, fuck that shit. How's that gonna help? You know what I mean? And I know they're probably doing studies on it, and I'm telling you guys, I bet you people are coming back and telling them this stuff don't work. You know? Is it a stimulant? Mirtazapine? Oh, okay. See, I talked to Dr. B about this. Hold on, I gotta take my medicine. I talked to Dr. B about this before, and we had a live on his channel, y'all, about stimulant medications for meth addiction, and I was like, why don't they use Adderall or Vyvanse for it, right? And he told me because it wouldn't hold people, right? Like, the reason a lot of the reason why they use the meth and stuff is because of the rush at the beginning, right? And it's not long or strong enough. Adderall and Vyvanse and stuff is not like long enough to help them through that cravings and stuff like Suboxone is for us, you know? Yeah, Jason, isn't that crazy? Like ridiculous. And y'all know how much I shot meth. So yeah, those are the medicines that they are using. And that's at workithealth.com. Mirtazapine is used to treat depression. Yeah. So I don't see how it could help, honestly. But I'm not a doctor either, so. NAC? N-A-K or NAD? N-A-D? Yeah, Wellbutrin gives you the jitters at first. It did me too, but it balances out after that. So I take this, and you put it underneath your tongue, and it is a supplement, and all of our bodies have this in it. And so it's helps with like, it just helps me to feel better. But I got it from my friend who him and this doctor own this clinic where they do NAD, ketamine, and this special kind of frog that you trip on it. You trip on the stuff from it. They do these like infusions and help people get off of drugs without any withdrawal. Not Ibogaine, it's ketamine and NAD infusions. It's a new thing, and it costs $10,000, but it's pretty fucking cool. I had him on my channel before, but it was a while ago. It's in the interview section. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Whew, my blood pressure's high. I can tell. My cheeks are red. We're just talking about stimulants and the medications used, and my friend, oh yeah, so they do NAD and ketamine infusions, and then there's this frog, and it's a frog or toad or something. It's a frog, and I'll show y'all. Hold on, let me get my friend's Instagram. My friend Lolita, she did it. The frog stuff. You ready to take a shower, Nate?
Remember, I took a shower yesterday.
So, you've been sweating and playing that Oculus, Nate. You're nasty.
Sweating, Dad. Remember, was I sweating?
I don't know. I didn't touch you.
We didn't play Gorilla Tag, so I didn't sweat at all. That's the only game that I've ever sweat on.
Okay, Nate.
We literally only...
I want to show y'all what it was called. Tonga or something like that. Hold on.
Yeah, buddy. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out where this thing goes on Mom's little tripod.
Hot railing meth? That's the best way to do it. No, I'm just kidding. Let me see what you said. Hot railing meth for over 2 years. She's getting worse in her addiction. I'm so sorry, Trisha. I know how that is. Here for her, and she's wrecking her life. How can I help her to see that? Honestly, there's like nothing that, I mean, you can try to be there to support her and love her and let her know that you love her and that you're there for her. But I'm going to be honest with you, like, you can't make her see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes what it takes is something drastic happening. Does she have her job? Does she have custody of her children? Does she still have a car to drive? Like, a lot of times it takes for them to hit some kind of substantial, roadblock in their life, to see, wait a second, I don't want to live my life like this anymore, Start sending her, you know what my people do? They start sending they'll send videos of mine to the person. They'll say, see what happened to this girl? She lost custody of her son because of her addiction, and that could help a little bit. But you don't want to make it to where you're nagging her, because then it's just going to push her away. I have a book, and it's called, let me show it to you. Hold on. You need to get it, okay? It's going to help you. Let me rub this lotion in my face real fast, and then I'm going to show you the book, okay? Oh, God. Her dad gave her the credit card? Well, that's one of the number one issues right there. She needs to be cut the fuck off. Okay, let's go get the book, and I'll show y'all what it says.
I found that little thing, finally, where it goes. What?
Okay, let me find my book so I can show y'all where'd it go. Okay, the book is called Understanding and Helping an Addict. Okay, this is going to help you. All right. And it's by a guy named Andrew Prolx, okay? And it basically tells you exactly what you don't want to do, okay? So, how to talk to and connect with a loved one in addiction. Are you ready, Trisha? Get your thinking caps on, honey. Okay. So, our role as family members and friends involves some important functions. Number 1, ensuring that our loved one knows that there's effective help available whenever they're ready to accept it, and that we can put them in touch with the right people who can help them. Jetta, sit. Sit.
Stay, Jetta.
2, being approachable, which means that we don't place ourselves in a position of conflict or nagging, and that we demonstrate a knowledge of addiction and a willingness to listen and learn. Number 3, making our loved one aware that we understand that addiction doesn't define them and that we hate the disease but love the person. Provide accurate information when asked. Setting boundaries, employing loving detachment, avoiding becoming an enabler, and being tough and firm when the loved one attempts to manipulate us. Ceasing to participate in the chaos, which means we stop being a part of the addiction. And engaging in self-care so that we're healthy, happy, and whole. We can't help anyone when we're a nervous wreck, participating in chaos, okay? These are the things that you don't need to do. I'm going to read the don'ts now. You don't need to lecture, threaten, preach, moralize, or make emotional appeals to addicts about their substance use. They're already very well aware that what they're doing isn't right, and they're already racked with guilt about it, even if their pride won't allow them to show it outwardly. Increasing that guilt further propels substance use and drives a pointless wedge between you and the addict. Your lecturing won't make them stop. Try to deal with them don't try to deal with them while they're intoxicated. There's no point in talking to them when they're loaded, because they're not going to hear you. Don't hand over control of conversations to an addicted person. It will inevitably turn into a non-productive argument that you cannot win. Arguing with an addicted mind is an exercise in futility. Don't lie, make excuses, or cover for their behavior, or otherwise try to protect them from the consequences of their substance use. Don't take over an addict's responsibilities except when absolutely necessary, such as caring for the addict's children when the addict cannot safely do so. Protecting addicts from the consequences of their behavior enables their substance use. Don't give them money, no matter what they say it's for. Don't feel guilty or responsible for an addict's substance use and behavior. Addicts will engage their blame thrower and try to blame everybody but themselves. It helps reduce their own feelings of guilt and is an effective manipulation tool. Avoiding feelings of guilt may be easier said than done, and we will discuss that later. And don't surrender control of your happiness and peace of mind to an addict. So, that's what you don't do. Helping an addict begins with stopping the fighting. As we'll discuss later on in this chapter, the relationship between an individual in active addiction and family members is almost always adversarial. Adversarial. Both sides are involved in creating this relationship. The addict shirks responsibility, does terrible selfish things, lies and deceives, and becomes defensive and aggressive every time they're confronted. Money is wasted and opportunities are lost. There's often trouble with the law, and the obsession with substance use is incomprehensible. The addict's loved ones are offended and frustrated by the repeated bad behavior and sloughing off of responsibilities, and react in a way people naturally react when someone's behavior is repeatedly and purposely unacceptable, with anger and frustration. Although this adversarial relationship is to be expected, it's counterproductive to helping a loved one find their way out of addiction, and it's counterproductive to your happiness and your peace of mind. I suggest that people take a different approach when dealing with a loved one in addiction. I suggest taking the high road and letting go of the natural response to the symptoms of addiction. This doesn't mean letting your loved one off the hook for all the destruction and crappy behaviors, not at all. Part of the healing process in addiction treatment and recovery involves owning up for the past behaviors, resolving to correct the behaviors and thought processes that led to these behaviors, and making amends to those we have harmed. However, in the meantime, chastising someone in active addiction is unlikely to result in any contribution and restitution. Rather, it just serves to get a defensive and angry response from the addict and creates an angry barrier between you and your loved one. And there's a lot more where that came from. So I hope that is a little bit of what can help you. So basically, you are literally just going to have to step back, stop, right? I know. Those first 3 sentences of don't part. If only it was that easy for some not to do. What was the name of that book again? Okay, it is called Understanding and Helping an Addict and Keeping Your Sanity. It's on Amazon, and it's by Andrew Proulx, Proulx, MD. He's an addict in recovery, and he's a doctor now. And so he's speaking from personal lived experience. And
lazy, selfish, carefree, and extremely mischievous. He concocts elaborate schemes and inventions to make his life easier.
Hey, Tom, what are you talking about, baby? I can't see your comments. Tom, what are you talking about, baby? You can't come in here retracting your comments after you put them in the comment section either. Okay, Yoshino. But I'm going to get off here, you guys. If y'all want to, would you guys like to go through this tomorrow? And we'll do a live on how to help your addicted loved ones. So tomorrow, we will do this. Let me see what time. Okay, tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Okay, love you too, Tom. 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, because Nate has his tutoring tomorrow, so he'll be at school till 4. So is everybody available at 2 p.m. Central?
On top of that, $45 per night motel while he was filming. Disney Channel was
Trisha, Boy Mom, are y'all available at 2 p.m. Central?
Shia's career would continue to reach new heights with the release of the film Fools. The film generated $71.4 million worldwide and would open the door for Shia.
And I will leave the video up, so I'll record it and I'll leave it up. Okay? And if you guys can't make it, the replay will be up, okay? Yeah, I'll post a picture of the book in the chat for y'all, okay? Yes, that is 2 o'clock Central is 4 p.m. California time. No, 12 California time and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all are 2 hours ahead of me. Yes, that's Narcan Nate, Kimmy. Simply put, Narcan Nate. He's really awesome. Okay? So I will see you guys at 2 tomorrow for our How to Help an Addict series. And I'm telling y'all right now, bring a pen and a piece of paper. Bring a notebook and a piece of paper, because it is a lot. And I'll be sharing with you guys like what my parents did and what personally helped me. And I'll share with you guys what I did to try and help my husband when he was doing stupid shit. So it'll all be good. And I'll actually have it uploaded so y'all will be able to watch the replay, okay? Okay, guys. All right. Good night, y'all. Love y'all.